Welcome to this explainer. Right now, the entire football world is absolutely reeling, and today we're going to unpack exactly why. We are diving headfirst into the explosive 2026 World Cup Round of 16 clash between Argentina and Egypt. This match in Atlanta was highly anticipated, but man, it ended up generating a massive controversy that people are going to be debating for years.
Let's just drop right into the fallout with this fiery quote from Egyptian player Mustafa Ziko. He called it a clear and obvious injustice that wasted the efforts of an entire nation. I mean, wow, that perfectly captures the raw, unfiltered emotion that's just dominating global headlines right now. When players are speaking out this forcefully right after a match, you just know the reverberations go way beyond the final score.
Section 1. The Atlanta Scandal. The 2026 World Cup Round of 16 clash.
So, defending champions Argentina secured their spot in the quarterfinals. Now, ordinarily, a legendary team marching on like that would be the entire story, right? But instead, the post-game conversation has been completely hijacked by allegations of unfair officiating. Instead of us breaking down tactical masterclasses or brilliant goals, the press, the fans, and the players are entirely focused on this one concept: injustice. The actual football has basically taken a backseat to the referee drama.
Section 2. A Tale of Two Halves. Anatomy of a Comeback.
To really wrap our heads around the scale of the outrage here, we need to look at how this match actually progressed. And the absolutely crucial point is this number: 2-0. Egypt had built a commanding 2-goal lead. Just imagine the scene in Atlanta. The defending champions, Argentina, are totally on the ropes deep into the second half. And this wasn't some fluke early goal either. Egypt held this massive advantage all the way to the 67th minute. The biggest upset of the tournament was brewing, and the Egyptian squad was literally on the brink of making history against a giant of the sport.
From kickoff all the way to that 67th minute, it is 100% Egypt's game. They are up 2-0, but then we hit that late game window. Argentina rallies, and they don't just score once to make things nervous, they score 3 late goals. It was an absolute explosion of momentum. If you've ever been deeply invested in a team, you know exactly that sinking feeling of impending doom. Seeing the timeline laid out like this, you can just immediately grasp the sheer psychological toll this match took on everyone in the stadium. Being that close to a historic victory and watching it evaporate in the final minutes, it's devastating.
And that brings us to the final scoreline, 3-2. Now, on one hand, this cemented Argentina's undeniable resilience. They proved exactly why they're the defending champions by clawing their way back from the brink. But on the other hand, for Egypt, this 3-2 result wasn't just a tough loss. It marked the beginning of a bitter, deeply felt grievance. It is the stark reality of tournament football, right? One side advances, the other packs their bags. But how this specific result was achieved, well, that's where the real story begins.
Section 3. The Disputed Decisions. Where the match turned.
All right, let's step back and neutrally isolate the exact moments that completely incensed the Egyptian bench, because this wasn't just some vague feeling of being hard done by. It came down to 2 massive flashpoints. First, a disallowed goal for Egypt that absolutely would have altered the state of the game. Second, a denied penalty appeal for their star talisman, Mohamed Salah. When we look at these 2 critical VAR decisions, we can clearly see the specific incidents Egypt argues unfairly tipped the scales against them. In a game decided by a single goal, these are the razor-thin margins that literally dictate history.
Section 4. The Rigged Narrative. Fallout and Accusations.
So, after the final whistle blows, the frustration doesn't just stay on the pitch. The Egyptian manager Hossam Hassan didn't hold back in the slightest. He took directly to Instagram and posted this incredibly blunt, almost ominous message: "The world is watching." I mean, in the age of rapid social media, a statement like that from a national team manager, it's like throwing gasoline on a fire. It instantly validated the anger of millions of fans and fueled a massive online firestorm that completely overshadowed the rest of the tournament.
And these aren't just vague complaints about having bad luck on the day. The Egyptian camp is making some really specific, explosive claims here. Number 1, a systemic favoring of the defending champions. Number 2, a deliberate attempt to protect Lionel Messi's tournament run to keep the sport's biggest superstar on the global stage. And number 3, an outright unfair VAR bias. They are essentially claiming that the entire tournament ecosystem in this match was just rigged against them from the start.
However, as an explainer of the facts, we really have to draw a clear line here.
While this rigged narrative is spreading like wildfire online and totally dominating the cultural conversation, there's currently zero evidence to support allegations of actual match manipulation or corruption by FIFA or the match officials. Look, bad calls are highly debatable, subjective decisions happen in sports all the time. But right now, there is just no factual basis for claims of an orchestrated conspiracy. The divide between the viral narrative and the objective evidence is incredibly stark.
Section 5. The future of VAR. Transparency in the beautiful game.
So, what does all this actually mean for the sport going forward? This single match in Atlanta leaves us with a really profound split in how it's going to be remembered. Was it a masterclass in comeback football from a legendary Argentine squad? Or, considering the disallowed goal and the denied penalty, did the referee tip the scales? This whole debate is just the perfect storm of passion, technology, and the unbelievably high stakes of a World Cup knockout match.
Which leaves us with this final, really critical thought to chew on. When a single match can create an international incident of this scale, should FIFA implement more transparent, real-time communication regarding VAR decisions to avoid these rigged accusations in the future? How can global institutions actually maintain transparency and public trust in the age of rapid social media fallout? It's a huge question that goes way beyond this one game in Atlanta, and it's something the football world is going to have to answer very, very soon. Thanks for joining me for this explainer. Keep asking those hard questions and keep learning.